For entrepreneurs and business people like us, it's important to always be closing. But our prospects are very sophisticated, and we won't close them on the first try. There may be half a dozen or a dozen touch points before our prospect will gain enough trust and place an order for our products or services. One of the challenges we have in today's world is that we're not directly involved in a lot of these touch points. Our prospects now go to the internet and use the internet and the information on there to help formulate and trust and choose what they want to do. So therefore, we can use social media on the internet to advance and create that trust between us and our prospect. After this presentation, all of you will gain a much better appreciation for a social media platform by the name of LinkedIn and how it can be used properly to advance your career, your entrepreneurial idea. How many people here right now are on LinkedIn? Oh, I'm speaking to the converted. Wonderful. What I want to talk about this morning is why we should use LinkedIn, how we should use it, and what LinkedIn can do for us. Why use LinkedIn? Well, we are creating our network all the time, and we're meeting a lot of people. Now, one of the rituals in business is to exchange business cards. But the problem is that this business card has a shelf life of maybe 6 months to 2-3 years, because people are changing their jobs and their positions and their locations quite frequently. So these become obsolete. But one thing that they do is they keep their LinkedIn profile up to date. So you always have that connection with them. The other thing with LinkedIn is this, is that why use it? It's a very credible social media platform, especially for business. It's often called the professional version of Facebook. 2 members join LinkedIn every second. LinkedIn has about 433 million members right now, of which 40% check their LinkedIn profile and their LinkedIn social media platform every day. The average revenue of somebody on LinkedIn is about $100,000. So LinkedIn is very powerful. It expands 200 countries and territories, and it involves, or it includes people speaking 20 different languages. The third reason why we should use LinkedIn is simply this. Your prospects will check you out online. Why? Because they can now. They can go online and find out a lot of information about you. And when they Google your name, what happens is that your LinkedIn profile comes up in the number 1 or number 2 position. That leads me to how to use LinkedIn. Your profile. Make sure your profile is very complete. Now, I can speak for hours, literally hours, on tactics and strategies that you can incorporate for your LinkedIn profile. But what I'm going to do is talk about one, which is the main one and one that makes the first impression. And that's your LinkedIn photo. How many times have we gone to look at somebody on LinkedIn and there is no photo? And we get that head and shoulders shot behind that powder blue background. And when I see that, a few questions go through my head. Basically, are you a real person? Do you really exist? Or do you have a face for radio and that's why you're kind of shy to put your picture up on LinkedIn? The first thing that you should do is invest in a good quality photo of yourself, head and shoulders. Make sure you're the only one in the photo and not somebody else along with you. Make sure you're in proper business attire and make sure that there's no distractions in your background. So get a professional shot made, because that's the first impression people get when they come to your LinkedIn profile. Okay? There are many other things that we can talk about, but that is one of the main things that needs to be done. What else do you need to do? You can use LinkedIn to raise your level of authority. How do you do that? You can write articles about your area of expertise and put that onto your profile as well. You can join groups. In fact, you can join up to 100 different groups. And you can offer your assistance in providing answers or solutions to people that are posing a question or a problem. So there is an awful lot that you can do to increase your authority. The other thing you can do for that is get testimonials for every position that you've held. And for those of you that are taking or in a course, get people within your course to offer a testimonial. For those of you who have taken a course or went to school just recently, go and get some of your profs to give you a testimonial. If you've done a special project or worked with a company, make sure you have people commenting on the quality of your work. The final thing, reason or how to improve your profile, is basically this. When you're working with your profile, make sure you have the tenacity to help grow your network. It's one thing to have your profile, but you got to keep growing it. So every time you meet somebody and you exchange a business card, I make it a habit of within 24 hours, going onto LinkedIn and sending them a request to connect. That way you grow your network naturally, and because they just met you, naturally they're going to accept your request for connection on LinkedIn. Now, the final thing, what can LinkedIn do for you? Because we're trying to close all the time, one of the great things with the LinkedIn is that it raises your level of expertise. It will separate you from your competition. If you work your profile the proper way, what will happen is that you will raise your level of authority and people will start to trust you maybe above your competition. And what will happen is this. You might get on the short list to be invited to bid on a contract or provide further explanation, and they'll actually contact you. This is what happened to me recently with my company that I landed in Italy. I had never met them. I had never talked to them. They saw my profile and they contacted me. The other thing that's also very important, if you always want to be closing, is that we have limited time and resources. LinkedIn works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So make sure that your profile is very complete. As entrepreneurs, can we always be closing with limited resources, limited time, limited money? Yes. Use social media, get on and make sure your LinkedIn profile puts your best foot forward. And in closing, my name is MJ Plebon, and I expect to get a request to connect on LinkedIn from each and every one of you within the next 24 hours. Thank you.